Hey there guys, welcome to Dinos Vault and welcome to my first ride review of the BMW G310GS. The GS was an instant showstopper once BMW released their official reveal video featuring the well-known auto journalist, stunt rider and motorcycle engineer Chris Northover. I absolutely loved the design when I got to see it the first time. Now that the BMW twins have been launched here in India, I was eagerly waiting to get my hands on this beastly beauty. Now most of you know that I've already reviewed the 310R, and if you haven't watched that video yet, I suggest that you watch that right away. In today's video, I'll be giving you guys a quick overview of what the G310GS has on offer. I'll be sharing my first ride impression and also give you guys my trademark braking test result. So let's get started with this review. First, let's start with the design. As mentioned before, the GS derives its design cues from their flagship tourer, the R1200GS. We get the trademark snout of the GS family up front. The front quarter fairing blends perfectly well with the rest of the bodywork. The alloy wheels design is similar to that of the 310R. Also, the GS borrows the headlamp of the 310R. It's only that here it comes neatly embedded in the fairing. I personally would have loved to see BMW's trademark asymmetric headlamp layout like what we see with the 750GS, the 850GS, or even the top of the line 1200GS. The gold anodized front forks look super premium. We also get a short windscreen up front, which really helps. Moving on to the profile, the true beauty of the bike really comes alive here, sporting the stance of a proper adventure machine. The design looks complete and really captivating from any angle you choose to look at it from. Again, the only black spot here is that the engine cowl doesn't match the quality standards set by the rest of the bike. Maybe BMW can offer a metal bash plate instead, like what we get with the Himalayan. The exhaust is the same as that of the 310R, but at the back we get the traditional top case rack that lends the bike a rugged look. And also, if you look closely, you'll notice that the rear monoshock on the GS gets a cover that prevents dust from accumulating in here. This is not available for the 310R, but I just hope that BMW considers including this for the 310R as well, because this really helps in the Indian road conditions. The tail lamp is similar to that of the 310R as well. The seat also appears to offer slightly more room on the GS compared to the 310R. Maybe that's because of the extended wheelbase on the GS at 1420mm compared to 1374mm on the Street Fighter. The longer wheelbase of the GS also translates into offering better stability at higher speeds, and rightly so, because the GS is primarily a touring machine which will be ridden mostly on the highways. Perfectly aiding this is the well-cushioned rider seat with superior quality foam, which provides for a comfortable saddle for long rides. The handlebar is wider on the GS compared to the 310R, and this helps us steer the bike effortlessly through city traffic and also provides for better stability at higher speeds. It also offers a proper big bike feel to the GS. And talking about the big bike feel, the GS doesn't feel overpriced if you look at the bike in person, because it looks huge and also comes well equipped with all the necessary tweaks to qualify as an adventure tourer. To sum it all up, it almost feels like you are getting more bike for the cash you pay. The GS is longer, taller and wider than the 310R. Now please note that I do love the 310R. I love the way it looks, I love the way it rides, but it's only when you look at other options in the market it starts appearing a little pricey. Now that's not the case with the GS. The GS enjoys a complete monopoly in the adventure tourer segment. Though the Himalayan is the only other direct rival to the GS does feel as a much better sorted machine among the two, and it also justifies its higher price tag by offering what you hope for from a dual sport machine. So does the GS qualify as a proper adventure tourer? Well, the answer to that is an emphatic yes, because the bike comes truly well equipped. First of all, we get long travel suspension for the GS with a suspension travel of 180mm at both ends. Secondly, we get a larger 19-inch front wheel. We also get proper block pattern off-roading tires to help you explore uncharted territories. We also get higher ground clearance at 220mm compared to 165mm of the 310R. The suspension is also slightly softer to offer more comfort. Now, what's truly remarkable is that the seat height can be adjusted to 3 different positions, and this is possible with different seat options. The standard seat height is 835mm, so one option engine lowers the seat height to 820 mm, while the other increases it to 850 mm as per your personal preference, which is absolutely amazing. What I actually miss is the option of going with spoke wheels, because spoke wheels can withstand extreme off-roading better than alloy wheels. Maybe BMW will introduce that option a few months down the line. Another major USP for the bike is the fact that the ABS is switchable, which means we can turn off ABS, unlike the case with 310R where the ABS cannot be switched off. The switches are of good quality and the Speedo Console is also similar to that of the 310R. The readouts include all the relevant info along with range, average fuel consumption, average speed, gear position indicator and a clock, among others. Another thing that I wish was better is the tank capacity of 11 liters. I would have preferred at least an 18-liter tank because the bike is actually meant to be a hardcore tourer. Now talking about the powertrain, powering the BMW G310GS is the same engine powering the 310R. We get a 4-stroke single-cylinder liquid-cooled fuel-injected 313cc DOHC engine that puts out a max power of 34 bhp at 9500 rpm and a max torque of 28 Nm at 7500 rpm. We get a 6-speed gearbox. Taking the bike out for a spin, the bike accelerates freely and smoothly right from the word go. We have good bottom end torque on offer and the mid-range surge is also quite good. You do feel a slight buzz on the foot pegs and on the fuel tank, but this is only apparent when you're trying to rev it like a Duke 390. Now we need to understand each bike's character and ride them accordingly to enjoy them thoroughly. So the GS is not a rev me harder kind of a machine. The bike is basically a tourer which does offer good acceleration and overtaking power on the go, but it's not a bike that you'd like to hit the red line each time you shift up. Shifting up while the revs are low helps the bike offer a smooth ride devoid of any vibrations. I love the seating on this bike. It is very comfortable, and this along with the perfectly positioned rider foot pegs and the ideally set wide handlebar makes you feel as if you're riding a higher capacity touring bike. The clutch feel is light despite the bike not getting a slipper clutch. The throttle action is also light and easy without straining your wrists. You can cruise on this bike at speeds of around 100 to 110 km per hour all day long without feeling fatigued. The balance is perfect. The handling is spot on courtesy of the tubular steel trellis frame, the aluminium swing arm and the rear monoshock. Talking about the brakes, we get a single 300mm disc up front with radially mounted 4-piston fixed calipers. At the back, we get a single 240mm disc with single piston floating caliper. The brakes are quite good and confidence inspiring. The ABS intervention is indeed quite smooth and accurate without any jerks or jitteriness. We do get dual channel ABS as standard, and the ABS can be switched off on the GS, which is a major plus. Talking about the suspension, we get chunky 41mm upside down front forks and a monoshock at the back. The GS gets a softer setting because the primary aim here is to maximize comfort for long distance travel. The GS is an absolute delight on our pothole ridden city streets because the bike simply glides over any undulations that the road has on offer. At the same time, it supports the chassis really well at higher speeds too. The only thing that my friend pointed out was that the headlamp was wobbling a wee bit at higher speeds, but this might be just teething issues and I'm sure BMW will have a fix for that. Talking about the wheels and tires, we get Michelin tires. We get a 19-inch wheel and a 110/80 tire up front and a 17-inch wheel and a 150/70 tire at the back. The tires do offer good road grip even on wet surfaces because it was raining the entire day when I tested this bike. Mileage wise, while there is no official claim as such, I feel it is reasonable to expect anything around 25 to 30 kmpl from this bike, and please note that the figures may vary as per riding style and riding conditions. Price ex showroom Delhi for the BMW G310GS is Rs 3.49 lakhs. And to conclude, I definitely feel that the GS is going to be an instant blockbuster hit compared to the 310R because it offers so much more and does almost everything really well. Well, that's pretty much it for now. I just hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dino saying ciao. Take care, God bless and ride safe.